The Jesuits of Canada have released a list of 27 priests who were accused of sexually abusing children over the past 70 years. The Catholic order called the allegations, quote, credible. At least 10 of the 27 priests were in First Nations throughout Northern Ontario. All of them have since died. 6 of the accused were at the Spanish Indian Residential School west of Sudbury, the only institution operated by the Jesuits in Canada. A spokesperson for the order says most of the victims of 3 abusers were teenagers from First Nations in Ontario. One of them, the late Father George Epoch, received over 120 allegations from 3 First Nations. And joining me now to talk about the list is Jesse Boiteau, Senior Archivist at the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation. Jesse, thanks for taking some time for us. What do you make of this move by the Jesuits to release the names of priests that have been accused of sexual abuse?
Yeah, so when the news broke yesterday about this list, my first thought was with the survivors and their family members and those who've been directly affected by the individuals who were on this list. These survivors and their communities are going to need our support during these coming days and weeks.
Indeed. Do you think that other religious orders should follow suit the same way?
Yeah, really, I think an important next step for other groups that are sort of, debating whether or not to do this type of exercise is really to start engaging with those survivors and those communities that were most affected by these individuals. It's not really for me to say, knowing that this type of topic could be fairly divisive.
Indeed. Many of the priests here listed have already passed on. Is it too little, too late to be announcing these names?
I don't think so. Really, it's going to help validate those survivors who provided their testimony to the TRC or provided their testimony to others in public or private settings where they've told their story, and now this helps to validate their truth.
Do you have any thoughts on what should happen now with the list?
Again, I just always like to bring it back to survivors. So I think the next step is really to offer support here, because oftentimes when news like this breaks, like with the Kamloops, it can open up a lot of pre-existing wounds. So I think first and foremost we need to be there for survivors, and then following that we can work with them and engage with them to sort of learn from their perspectives what the next steps should be.
All right. Well, Jesse, we'll leave it there, but appreciate you taking some time for us to talk about this.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.